Garrett Henderson, electrician, career electrician. And I wanted to share with you today, because I'm seeing a lot of these videos on how to save energy, how to save money, how do I lower my electric bill. Well, let me tell you, I'm a career electrician, and I'm going to share with you the only ways that you can save on your energy. And I know what you're going to say. Oh, geothermal, solar. Yes, of course. If you put in a supplemental system, you'll certainly save energy. But let's talk about the real ways that you can save energy today. Number one, turn it off. Two, put a timer. Why not put a timer on your lights? Three, the most important, and in fact, I'm going to pause for a second because I want you to pay attention to this. If you really want to save your electric bill, there's only one way you can do it. If you want to continue with your usage that you have right now and keep everything going, all your EV charging, all your lighting, your electric heat, whatever you're using that's causing your electric bill to be so high, there's one trick, and that is power factor. And what is power factor? Hey, Garrett, what is power factor? Power factor, ladies and gentlemen, is when current and voltage are out of phase, where your current and your voltage aren't at perfect 0.1 power factor. And that is an immediately waste of energy if your voltage and current are slightly out of phase from each other. That's 100% loss. The worse your power factor, the higher your electricity bill is. Now, how do you determine what your power factor is and how to correct the power factor? There's two ways. The one way that most of you do isn't the most preferred way. The second way is you call us, or you call a qualified electrical contractor that has the proper power quality analyzing meter that they can put on your residence and tell you exactly what your power factor is and how to correct it. The second is you can call your utility company. Now, the utility company is ultimately responsible for providing you a 100% correct power factor. What happens is, in your home, if you have a lot of inductive loads, motors, you're running your air conditioning a lot, anything that has an inductive load, not a resistive load, like electric heaters are resistive loads. They're not as affected, they don't affect power factor like inductive loads. So, what do we do to correct power factor? We have to offset the inductance with what? What would we use if we have too much inductance, too many motors? What would we use to offset that? Well, the opposite would be capacitance. So we would need to add a capacitor. And in fact, that's what you do. So the first thing you need to do is determine exactly what your power factor is. And if you want to leave that up to the utility company, hey, good luck, because the utility company will never admit fault. A utility company will never say, hey, yeah, we're giving you bad power factor and we're going to correct it for you. They'll never do it. If you look at your utility bill, often you could read what the power factor is, but you need to test it, right? So there's a certain meter that gets connected to your panel that we let it run, and we can tell exactly what your power factor is. And again, power factor, guys, is the separation from voltage to current. In a perfect world, voltage and current are directly in line with each other, and it's 100% efficient. If the current is lagging a little bit from the voltage, that lag is 100% waste, and you're paying for that waste, and there's no way to get it back. The only way to get it back is shut off the load or correct it with capacitor. It's not as hard as you think. They make a capacitor that connects directly to the two incoming lines on your home. If you have a three-phase, if you're in your business where you have a lot of inductive motors, you would have a three-phase capacitor that would connect directly on the line. And what would happen is that lag will be limited. That capacitor will offset the inductance to make sure that you are getting as perfect efficiency coming into your facility or your home. So when I watch these people say, oh, how do I save money? How do I get my power factor? How do I change? How do I get this? Oh, get solar, get this. No, the only way to do it is to get someone to your home, pay the little bit of money, have them measure your true power factor, and then they can come up with a capacitor to correct that power factor for you. And you will immediately see tremendous savings. Immediately. In fact, I used to work as a subcontractor. They actually hired my firm to go around and install all the capacitors on all the individual loads. So in some situations, like processing companies, manufacturing companies where they have a lot of motors, we actually would put a capacitor on the disconnect of each one of these type of equipment, each one of these motors. And we would save on the average of 7%. A 7% savings across the board once we added these power factor correcting capacitors. And in fact, we used to give an insurance policy. I mean, we would literally put our money where our mouth is and say, hey, if we don't save you that 7%, you don't pay. And let me tell you, customers would come back and say, is there anything else you can save us money with? Is there anything else? Like they get so, they're mind blown how they've got a 7% increase in their efficiency right to their bottom line, and they want more because we make them look good, right? The guy who hired us to do that, all of a sudden he goes into a meeting and the accountant's like, yo, our electric bill went down 7%, which could be huge in certain situations. And then they get greedy and they want more. So what do we do then? That's when we look into the lighting. We look into lighting controls, prescriptive controls. Because once you hook in that customer, saving them money, they just want more. They want to be saving more money. They want to look good. They look good by hiring you. So if you're an electrician watching me, hey, how you doing? My name is Garrett Henderson. I'm a career electrician. I'm here in Miami. I stay in Miami in the winter. I'm in New Jersey in the summer. Just been a great career, and I'm just trying to share with you ideas, true solutions without, hey, buy solar, hey, do geothermal, oh, pay us. No. Look, and I'm not soliciting you to call me to do your work. I'm not going to do it. You need to find an electrical contractor. You need to ask them. You call them up on the phone and you say, hey, can you determine power factor? You literally want to ask the electrician if they even understand what power factor is. Trust me, guys. Vanilla ice cream electricians are a dime a dozen. But when you get into the more experienced, more qualified, you're going to pay a little bit more. But let me tell you, if I can save you 7% off your electric bill without doing solar for a small fee, you wouldn't do it? Of course you would do it. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for taking the time to listen to me rant. I just got this inspiration from seeing all these videos saying, I want to save money on my electric bill. And it's always like solar or something stupid. So let's recap. How do we save energy? 1, we turn it off. 2, we put timers and load management. 3, we make sure our power factor is perfect. See you later, guys.